Alright, so as you can see, Little Otter Slide is just flat as glass today. It was an absolute pleasure to paddle across. Broke camp about 7:45, reached the portage about quarter after 8. I've already carried over one load of gear. I wasn't at all surprised to see that Burn Island was windy again. So even though it's flat as can be over here, it's quite windy on the other side. Well, I just finished my second carry across this portage. As you can see, Burn Island is a little less friendly looking than Otter Slide was. It looks as though the wind has completely changed directions since I crossed it 2 days ago. So that means I'll be facing the wind the whole day again. So that's unfortunate. I was really hoping to make some good distance today, but we'll see how I do. Anyways, I'm gonna go back and grab the canoe. Alright, so just across the lake there is where I camped Monday night, and from there to the end of Burn Island took me about 6 hours on Tuesday. Today it took me 2.5 hours, and I've already made it this far. Now I am scheduled to be on this lake for 2 nights, then one on teepee. With the speed I'm making today, I'm thinking about pushing forward and getting down into teepee tonight, and then I can get out of here tomorrow. Right now I'm just resting at this campsite here. Not a bad campsite, not much to it. Nothing really flat, so it's not good for a tent, but decent for a hammock. Nice little fire pit area with lots of room to sit around. A couple of trails to wander, so I like that about sites. Sometimes you get really confined and there's no real trails out of there. The site I had for the last 2 nights had 2 trails that looked like they'd go to the other campsites, but I very quickly lost the trail. They were just a little too overgrown. But anyways, I just had a rest here for the last half hour, drank some water, had a snack. Now I'm going to push on and see if I can get across the rest of this lake. Alright, so I had to camp on this site here. It has the most interesting fireplace I've ever seen at any campsite in Algonquin. You'll notice it's built right up against this big giant rock that it's just resting here. They've built up around the front a little entranceway where you can put in some fresh sticks. There's a grill over top. Lots of firewood left over here. A couple bigger logs I could process with my saw. As usual, there's several grills left behind. There's 4 right there, plus a little handheld fish frying one that's pretty rusted and no use to anyone. One thing that is curious about this site too is right in this start of the fire pit there's a big iron bolt in the ground and a bit of a chain coming out of it. I can only assume that's a remnant from the days of logging. I'm not sure what it would have been used for here. I would have expected it closer to the water for tying boats to, or tying a log boom to, but next to a fire pit it's a little unusual. But that tells me this fire pit's been here a long time. It's seen a lot of use. You can kind of tell that by the way it's really well built up here. As far as benches goes, so let me pivot around here. It's got 2 good-sized log benches. What I like about these ones is they're a bit higher off the ground. Some of them are so low to the ground that your knees are up higher than your butt and it gets uncomfortable. One thing that's not so great about this site is tonight the wind's coming in right off the lake and up into this fire pit area. But it's the middle of August, so it's not too cold. If you're out here in May or October, that wind chill could really freeze you up at night. So the site's really wide open. There's a lot of ground here to cover. I still haven't gone up here to explore yet. Looks like a bit of a climb with some stuff to check out. I don't really see many flat spots for tents. There is one down here near the water that wouldn't be bad. I guess right here wouldn't be too bad either. Probably fit about 2 tents here. Judging by this trenching here, someone did put their tent here. There's another spot down here that's kind of protected by the trees. Not exactly flat, but you could hang a hammock here. Another good sized boulder here just lying there. Oh, here comes a chipmunk. Just down this trail is the privy. I already checked it out. Someone left it in a really sad state. First of all, the lid was wide open on it, and when I took a closer look, it was just covered in toilet paper. Someone had lined the seat with toilet paper before they sat down and was too careless enough to even put it away. You know, at least throw it in the hole after you're done. Show some respect to the next set of campers that'll come through. Anyways, it's about 1 o'clock. I'm almost to the southern end of Burn Island. I've made amazing speed today. As you can tell by the lake, opposite direction of wind compared to Tuesday. I don't know why I made so much ground today. I did stick to the opposite end of the lake, so this time I was on the western end instead of the eastern. A few less bays to cross. The bays that were there were much wider, and I didn't go through them. I actually crossed right through them. Not always the smartest thing to do, but I was just trying to cover as much ground as I could, and I was feeling pretty confident at that point. I probably could push on and get into Joe Lake tonight. I considered sleeping on Joe Lake and then getting out of here tomorrow. I am scheduled to be on this lake for 2 nights and then 1 on Teepee. I don't know if I'll stay that long. All depends on how I feel tomorrow. Today I've been feeling pretty good. Haven't let my finger slow me down much. I've been paddling fine with that injury. I've been doing the portages fine. There was only one today. It was 800 meters. I did triple carry as usual, but got across it no problem. Anyways, like I said, it's 1 o'clock, so I have plenty of time to rest up, maybe cook some lunch. Haven't really eaten much today, and I'll probably be camping here tonight. I just have to try out this fireplace. It's way too cool. So with about 2 minutes of effort, I got this fire started up. There's tons of firewood here. It was no problem at all to light. It was really dry, and the wind coming off the lake just fed it tons of air. What's interesting is the top part of the structure actually kind of catches the air and it brings it back down. So the air is actually going in the back and coming out the front, which is a little different than I expected it to do. So I'm way behind on my rations. I gotta start eating. Just haven't been hungry. So right now, debating on whether I want to make up some shepherd's pie or some fish and rice. They both sound tasty. Alright, so I'm just about to cook up some shepherd's pie. As you can see here, I've got it all vacuum sealed. On the left here, that's some ground beef that I dried up. Pretty standard recipe. It's called gravel. You just brown some beef. You know, I wash it 3 or 4 times with hot water in a colander, get all the grease off it, put it back on, keep cooking it some more, get it out all the water. It gives off a lot of water when it cooks. You can get it down to about 1/10 of the weight. You finish it off in the dehydrator. This here is just some powdered potato flakes. It's used for making mashed potatoes. Right here, dehydrated peas and corn. I just do it from a can. That there is probably about 1/3 of a can of corn and 1/3 of a can of peas. In the little straws there, you'll see, well, you won't really see what's inside, but that's a powdered gravy mix. And that's basically everything I need here. Right, so I've got my gravy made up in the mug there, and here's my shepherd's pie. It's a fairly small single serving here. I find it's really filling, and a couple times I've had to burn the excess just because I couldn't eat it all. But it is quite delicious. Yum yum. I just missed a nice little collision there. The one in the red's really struggling to steer that thing. It sounds like it's just a younger kid though. You guys cheated, But big lake for such young kids. Even I struggled out here. Not to say that I'm, a pro at this or anything. So I ended up not really being able to hang my hammock down here. There just wasn't any trees that were close enough together. So I ended up going way the heck up that hill. And let's go take a tour up there. Because I didn't go up there for a while. I thought there wouldn't be much up there to see, but turns out there's a few tent pads up there. At first I didn't want to hang my hammock up here just because it's a bit of a steep climb and does kind of suck the energy right out of you. And certainly wouldn't be a lot of good if you're planning on having a few drinks. But anyways, climbing up this hill here, you'll see there's quite the opening. Could probably set 3 or 4 tents up here easily, maybe even more. As for my hammock, it's hanging here between these 2 trees. One issue I had with this tree, had it with several trees, way too big for the straps. So, I kind of blame Hennessy Hammock for encouraging me to go with that size. I'd actually emailed them ahead of time, seeing if they thought I should upgrade, and they encouraged me to go with that size. So, a little disappointed there. But, yeah, there it is. And that path off there, I'm not sure where that goes. Yet to explore it. There's another one over here, and I think that just goes down to the treasure chest, as they call it. There is another route without going up this hill and back down. Once again, you can see some people have done some trenching here. There's a bit of it there, and a bit of it there. Alright, another little piece of gear failure here. You'll notice this carabiner here on the back of my spot GPS. It's supposed to clip into this. This just tore right off. Basically, I had it clipped onto a rope which was in the boat, and went to unclip it, but it was flipped over this way. So I was trying to get at the carabiner. It was kind of an awkward position, and as I was unclipping it, it just gave out on me. So that kind of sucks, especially considering I've only borrowed this GPS from work. It's not actually mine, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to attempt to stitch it. I could probably put 2 or 3 threads in that spot there and get it to hold together again. Who knows, maybe I will do it. Well, I'm glad I retired early today. I was on the lake from, I guess I hit the lake about 7:45. I hopped on the little otter slide and paddled across that. It took about half an hour. It was pretty flat. It was absolutely beautiful. Portage took me a good hour and a half doing a triple carry. I was pretty cautious too. I wasn't sure how my hand would take it. Also sunburnt shoulders. Surprisingly, with the bags on, it didn't really hurt. The canoe, I thought for sure that was going to kill, but it didn't hurt my shoulders, and my hand, dealt with it just fine. So that was a real pleasant surprise right there. Alright, so the sun's just starting to set over Burnt Island. Of course, I'm on the wrong side of the lake to see it, but that's alright. The lake still looks beautiful. Still a bit windy. Clear blue skies, nice big fluffy clouds. This big island here, I've passed it a few times before. It's the second island that you come across when entering Burnt Island from Joe Lake. It's an interesting looking island. I'd love to camp on it sometime. But what's happening? Sorry. I'd absolutely love to camp on that island sometime, but don't think it's gonna happen. Well, it's been a long day that feels like it mostly consisted of staring at this lake from this angle here. I love the view of this island, which is kind of buried from the trees right here. But I really feel like I covered a lot of ground today. I'm really proud of myself. Really kind of turned things around and made me feel a little more confident about getting out of here. Yesterday, I was feeling really sorry for myself. I really didn't think I'd get so down out here, but it's funny how just a cut on the finger can really change the game like that. But finally started eating again. I made up some shepherd's pie right after I got here. That was really good. Right now I'm making up some bannock. I munched on some trail mix since I got here as well. Other than that, it was just a bit of trail mix and beef jerky when I made a stop earlier in the day. But yeah, I've been at this campsite since about 1, and it's now 8:30. The sun's just kind of, disappearing. Not much light left. But it's been a good day. I've relaxed. Really happy with how far I went and how fast I went. It was nice having some time to relax after my day's travels. Tomorrow I really don't have to go anywhere. Haven't decided if I will yet or not. After that, I'm supposed to push into Little Doe and then down the Oxon River into Teepee Lake for my last night. I've really debated doing that a night early. As much as I love it here, it would be nice to, get out to the comfort of civilization. Gets really still and quiet here when the sun goes down. All you really hear are loons calling, water splashing against the shore. And nights like tonight, you hear people hollering across the lake. When I was on Burn Island, was it Monday night? I could actually see 4 different campfires across the lake. It was a very busy lake that night. Tonight seems to be much more quiet.